But if they can play around Renata effectively, this is a composition that we've seen work many, many times here in the LCK.
It's very plug and play, right? You have hard engage to augment your Gnar. You have pick-off potential with the...
As we hop onto the Rift here for game number 1. DRX taking on Kwangdong Freaks for the final match of the week before we get into the final week.
Fake.
Yeah, Pyosik coming in for a bit of a follow-up. LM comes through though, and that is a lot of damage. Zeka's real dead because he has no flash available. And Pyosik actually decides to try and go back in on this one. Eventually has to flash as the flash comes forward. Fate's in trouble, but Pyosik is just dead. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to go wide as Beryl is chasing after the jungler. They do have control vision in the area, but Kane had the inside track. The Graves was coming over from a different angle.
What? It's both. I don't know why I need to explain this.
Yeah, Pyosik's in a bit of trouble. They are going to go for the turret first, and then they're going to kill the Lee Sin. And Teddy grabs that one very comfortably. Gale Force used to what looked like a last hit. As, yeah, just unfortunate timing there for Pyosik to come in. Caught him with his pants down.
Beryl, who... Oh, fake.
Oh, they are going to look for him. Gets his hand shaken and pushed back, but does have the distortion as well as a flash. And he's going to be able to use it. Summit, I believe.
Yep.
As, yep, Def just going to tidy up the mid lane as Pyosik looking for Shirley. Means both of the twins will be locked down there as Def gets hit by Teddy. One last auto, and that is it. Solo kill for Teddy. Tidies him up underneath the turret. Well, not quite. Definitely gonna get sped up. Still, the Infernum's doing a lot of work as into the backline goes Fate. Solar Flare is going to go wide as Def down extraordinarily low. Flame Chompers are going to catch out Keen, unfortunately. So he doesn't quite find that Mega Gnar engage, but still, the work has been done. They managed to get them out of the area, and it looks like Soul Point should belong to Kwangdong Freaks.
Looking really good. Loving that from Kwangdong. Very decisive, not afraid at all to pull the trigger.
I don't think that is going to be the one that's going to be securing the Baron. Fate dives on over, Beryl explodes. Goodbye.
Damn, Fate! That was clean. Quick pick up there.
And a turret, and that is it. As Fate is looking for depth, and he'll find him. He will absolutely find him.
I love how the cooler the kill, the more calm you become. It's like, yes.
Well, I mean, it's not like I can play-by-play the moment, because it's just he comes over, does all his buttons, and then Deft is really dead, and then Deft's kind of dead before I have a chance.
There's no ramp-up time? You need the ramp-up.
Okay. Well, I'll work on that. As Pyosik's dying as well. We are going to be able to get a turret elsewhere on the map, but Kwangdong Freaks pushing forward. Fate, this is all about him today. Zeka is taken for a walk. He gets a gold card. That's going to stop Fate from heading any further forward. But once again, Pyosik is dead, and once again, Kwangdong Freaks looking to take down this Baron.
I just wanted to reiterate, I mean, you need the ramp-up to actually make something of the moment. I was, of course, not criticizing. And if they get the soul as well...
Oh my god, Teddy, so much damage here. The Infernum's really starting to rip through them, and Fate comes over. Kingen thought he was going to safety in his Krug pit, but of course, Fate is waiting around the corner. 0 and 8 now on the side of DRX. Kwangdong Freaks, this is beginning to look like a shellacking. It is a little bit too long as far as game length in order to really fit the category, but man. And another round of poke from Teddy as well as Beryl goes down to his bailout, but there is no one turning up at the police station. No one has enough money to get him out of this situation as...
Maybe there's an opportunity.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the goal.
There's the gold card. That is going to be a stopwatch that they get for it, as Destiny is going to come through. But it's largely defensive to find out where the heck they've all gone.
Get the Elder, but maybe you don't, because if you get berserked, as Pyosik
is dead again.
Yeah.
Solar Flare going to get massive value this time around. Fate comes back forward one more time. Not sure how Renata died just there, but she did. Guardian Angel going to get procced there from Keen, but that's why he bought it, so that he could use it. Super Mega Death Rocket comes through yet again, but once more, it's not really doing the most damage, and Teddy's decided that he really just wants to finish this one off. Don't know how many turrets there are. Teddy's just going to flash on in. Def takes a lot of damage, keeps himself alive, but then goes into his stopwatch, which is not really what you want to do, putting yourself in that position for the foreseeable future, and now they're going to head towards that death chamber. Zeka on the fountain, but he's just going to have to watch in horror as his face is torn to shreds as he goes golden. But that's just another chance for a Moonlight Vigil from Teddy. Nexus doesn't last. 4-0 and 3 for the Aphelios at the end, and Kwangdong Freaks.
A huge win condition for Kwangdong is that LeBlanc getting a big lead because it enables so much more, right? It means that as DRX, no one can actually walk up. Like, who's going to face check into a Fed LeBlanc who don't have a tank? I do think that, unlike last game, DRX now have an actual comp that can fight even when behind, right? Because a Stein augmented by actual hard engage in the Rakan has much more of a fighting opportunity, but overall, still looking at the Kwangdong comp, and I'm feeling pretty good, right? It does a lot, a lot of power. I've seen that one before. That
That's
amazing.
a really good one. That first loss, this is a huge test.
Thing as well that
Yeah, Alum is going to dive in onto Pyoshik here. Little dash, but Zek is able to get that rotation over. Really good setup of his knock-up, and Alum's going to be able to walk it out.
Yeah, with missing the Wind Becomes Lightning, like both activations of it, I thought Alum was going to be in deep trouble. Also a level down, but Xin Zhao is an absurdly strong duelist, so that part, especially with the pickaxe, might have been fine. As Fate.
Yeah, taking a fair bit of damage here. The Ignite goes down as Pyoshik not going to be able to find the stun, but the perfect execution is there. It's a trade back as Zek is underneath the enemy turret. Ellen's also looking for the kill on a Pyoshik here as he flashes forward and manages to audaciously charge the Viego to death. Hoyt also able to find some lockdown onto Zeka, but I don't think you win this battle, buddy, and he's not going to. Zeka grabs that kill. Certainly some happy gaming here in this mid lane, but in the end, it's an even trade of kills. Is Keen getting knocked up. And there's the engage. Ellum finding Pyoshik here, and he's taking a lot of damage. Great dredge line this time from Hoyt as they lock down the kill on both of the junglers. And in fact, Kwangdong Freaks trading back once again. Shadow Surge now for Fate. He's got the fear in hand, but he doesn't want to dive as the very squishy Vex.
Good call.
He isn't going to do it.
Doesn't want to take the risk.
Steady. Going to have to Featherstorm here. Actually, really great use of the grand entrance there from Beryl to get that one locked down. Shelly going to come forward. We'll get some value here for Deft and for Pyoshik. Likely, as I don't...
It's kind of rude. It's like when the alarm just keeps going off, and you keep turning it off, and he's like, nope.
Yeah, that's why you don't accidentally hit the snooze button.
Oh, very important.
You actually should probably turn that one off. There's a knock-up onto Pyoshik. He's going to flash, he's going to ult, but he's still going to die. Zeka comes on in, so it's a 1-for-1 in the end, but he's taken a lot of damage. Hoyt's also going to fall down as now LM trying to run this one out. Goes back in and looks to see whether he can lock down the Rift Herald, but she's going to reset one more time. She wants to go back to bed. It's not going to happen, however, that is what she wanted, and that means LM doesn't get what he wanted. DRX now in this mid lane, looking to tidy up the wave after winning that fight.
Oh yeah, and crucially, as Teddy does no damage whatsoever into the full armor sign, unsurprisingly. I don't know. I think DRX just front to backs, and then Kwang says, oh, okay, never mind. We'll leave.
Yep, or they just come in and take Kwangdong Freaks' lunch money. As Flame Chompers come in, it's going to be a very nice knock-up. Flash forward, that's going to get the lockdown onto Teddy. No opportunity to use any kind of ultimate. As Beryl dashed around, that's McLeod Soul as the Super Mega Death Rocket will do a bit of damage to the Kwangdong Freaks members. But it's just not looking like Kwangdong Freaks have any options here this game.
That's Zaya. And Fate.
Yeah, Pyoshik has found him, and that is going to be the kill lockdown. Def trying to kite this one out now as well, as Pyoshik is still alive, by the way. Going to be able to pick up some of these resets. Teddy comes in and he's like, why is my house on fire? He is going to be able to get a Blade Caller across, but I don't think he's going to get the feathers out to be able to lock down the damage. The Zap almost kills Hoyt. And DRX, it's starting to look like an insurmountable lead here at 19 minutes, and it all sort of happened in the last 3 of those minutes.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good about this one, Atlas, when it comes to
Teddy's not
Kwangdong.
feeling so good about it either.
Yeah. So, game number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
I'm really happy. After game 1, I was a little worried. We talked to you as well. Like,
as Beryl looks for the knock-up, doesn't find the grand entrance. Wind Becomes Lightning is there, and DRX is starting to feel antsy. On the flank again is Zeka, has the opportunity to rotate down. Kwangdong Freaks, they are starting to position much better. They're starting to hold themselves together as that is a pickoff onto the Scion. This time he's just dead. If he's not with his team, it doesn't really matter how well you've itemized. Kingin so much health bar right now as well, as we can see. His Beryl takes a lot of damage. That is way too much as he grand exits one more time. Shadow Surge now on cooldown. Still relevant as Keen picks up the kill off to the side. And now it's a 4 versus 5. Beryl now making his way back towards the rest of his team, and Kwangdong Freaks gonna have to give this one up as well. Those ultimates that you were talking about, so important, but they're coming back up right now. Blade Caller comes in, and Kingin might be too far forward. The flash is going to be used, as Zeka's going to get knocked up. Shadow Sword towards the back line, and Deft is already dead. It's going to get the reset as well as Zeka goes golden, but it is way too little, and it is way too late. As another surge comes in. Fate comes down the bottom lane and will look to try and kill the Scion. It's a tough ask.
I don't know if
it is a difficult one.
I don't think you do.
As Beryl's here at the same time, and the thumbs up comes out. So that was a bit of a buzzkill as Fate was getting those resets. But Kwangdong Freaks, that's a big fight win.
That's important, and the cooldown timers are still pretty long, right? 35 seconds for Zeka. Wonder if they want to push on here as...
No! He is going to at least be able to leave the station. It's fine. Acceleration of this train, pretty good. And so he gets oh dear, the back's going to get stopped from Elam. And he's going to be able to protect Hoyt there as that was just another whoopsie. This one's back to live, if anyone was confused.
All right. In the end, favorable trade, but the bounty gold capped to a minimum, and we're back to 5K.
Yep.
Just where we're supposed to be.
Bottom side of the map, there is, vision around there. Blue buff, but it's not going to matter if they're just dead. Fate's going to go golden to avoid the Super Mega Death Rocket, but the Flame Choppers are put down, and the Vex is going to be taken. Deft grabs that kill, and he is done with this game. He wants to finish it right here. The flash forward picks up the kill onto Keen as well. And DRX, they don't want to waste time with Barons or Elders or things like this. They just want to take the Nexus turrets and move on to game 3. And it looks like they're going to be able to get their wish as well. Great knock up from Kingin to set this ball rolling for Deft, who picks up the next couple of kills. This is going to be the unofficial pentakill, and he deserves it. It's a triple and a double. We call that 3+2, and that equals 5, and Deft is going to be able to pick it up and then finish the game.
And overall, wasn't the cleanest game of DRX, but in the end, they got the job done. And that's all that matters as we go to game number 3 here, Atlas.
It ended up on a 9.7k advantage, but I think most of it was definitely that 5,000 gold that DRX were struggling to get past. And Kwangdong Freaks sort of back to a very stock standard style of composition. And DRX with a lot of split pushing opportunities and a lot of safety for Deft as well.
Take as big of a lead as they can get.
Well, we'll see whether they can get there. So here we are onto the Rift for game number 3, the deciding match between these two. So many playoff implications on the line here. Also, Meganar is going to be wearing off as well, as Keen now in mini form. Not going to be able to help as much with tanking up this turret. As Hyper is ready, going to be used, takes a turret shot as in goes Elam. Let's see whether they can make this one work. As he does still have flash, no ghost like you were talking about before. Spinning slash to get back underneath the turret. And underneath here, it's going to be a real problem, and Keen's going to go down. 1 for 1. It is first blood going over to Kwangdong Freaks. Managed to push Keen away from this mini wave as Hoyt going to get blocked immediately by Beryl. Gravitum comes out as well, and Def looking to try and follow this one up. Beryl's going to secure it in the end. A 2v2 kill, just catching Hoyt sleeping on the bottom side of the map.
Or just a pick on the ward. Making his way over.
Yeah, good little fear onto Fate there. They do get the passive as Zeka might be in trouble. Pioshik's the one that's closest as Keen is going to rotate over. Now Pioshik in a bit of trouble himself. Beryl coming in there though, does have Devour available as Pioshik goes back and immediately gets exploded. Beryl not able to press that R button in time, and that was a whoopsie from DRX. Just not quite able to get in range. Was the Tahm Kench.
You see the movement there, it's like, wait,
yeah.
Dead?
And that was also sort of mid-ult from Pioshik as well, I believe, as Keen, fantastic flash, but the ulti's there from Kingin, and he's going to outplay it in inverted commas.
Interestingly enough, picked up the Fate. Show was looking to build towards hold up.
Yeah, bit of a battle here as Pyosik goes in. The Crescent Guard is there. Decent little flash to get himself out of the way, and they will survive. Securing the kill onto the Trundle as well. Zeka looks for the Q, doesn't find it onto Fate. Needs to pick the right target, as he is just going to back away. There's the Abyssal Dive, but Fate is going to have another distortion and keeps himself alive. Now looking for the back timing, as Beryl wasn't actually able to poke his head around and see exactly where. Just feels like there's a large amount of inevitability if he gets the advantage he's looking for. Pyosik, though, can get caught out of position here. The Mimic Chains are going to connect. Crescent Guard comes forward. Super Mega Death Rocket eaten by the ultimate of the Xin Zhao. And that time, the Devourer is going to come through. The Vex picks up the follow-up kill. As now Beryl just chasing after them. Eats a chain, seems pretty happy about it. He's going to die. The Fear not quite lined up onto Hoyt just yet, but Deft is able to pick up the kill in the end. Fate dives on over. Great knock-up from Pyosik as he dashes on in. Cancels the auto, though. Oh, dear. As Fate's trying to troll him, but it's going to be Pyosik that locks it down in the end at this skirmish once again. And I'm glad that we got to see exactly. Oh, okay, never mind. We're going to have another replay of what happened last time, but this time King doesn't have flash, as King is dead. So this time wasn't a replay. That was actually.
Hey, Hullbreaker's done.
Not going to get started one more time as Zeker is prowling for an opportunity as Teddy's going to get popped. Oh dear, Deft locks it down with the Gale Force. And now Keen tries to come over and save this turret, but Deft is there with some autos for him. And they really do hurt. Hullbreaker or no Hullbreaker, and King is going to get some work done elsewhere. This is DRX taking absolutely everything. Having cake, there's cake in the fridge, they're eating cake, it's just cake everywhere.
Too much cake is not good, Atlas. Come on, you gotta have a balanced diet.
Well, that's true, but if it wins you games of League of Legends, then I'd recommend it.
Gives over the bounties to Teddy, and then does that again.
Well, we're diving King in. He does have ultimate available. He's going to press the button, looking to try and trade back. It is going to be a difficult one, and Keen is going to do a somersault and dive on over. Hoyt survives. Good tanking there of the turret there on the bottom side. Yeah, but Shirley's going to take 2 turrets. And I don't know whether Fate can do anything about it.
Yeah, Hoyt also picked the kill.
Yeah, Fate is going to get chickened. As waiting in the brush is DRX, and oh my god, the Moonlight Vigil damage! Just ridiculous. Hoyt is going to bear the brunt of it as Fate goes in to try and soften up Beryl, but the Shadow Surge is there. Zeka not going to be able to find any resets off this one as DRX are pushing forward. Fate went back to a very unfortunate distortion, but does get himself out and doesn't have to use his flash. Fate taking a lot of damage here from Deft, who's now just standing in front of 3 people, and there's a Devourer. And so, throws his Moonlight Vigil away though, is now Teddy throwing out some autos himself. Gravitum is armed for the Aphelios.
Oh, that was such a nice kill from Teddy. If Deft hit that Moonlight Vigil, Teddy surely would have died. The problem is, the gold is so far in DRX's favor that none of this really matters, Atlas.
It's one of those wallet diff type situations. Yeah. And Deft knows it, that's why he was standing so far up with impunity. He's going to have to flash there though, respecting Hoyt in the end. And now, that's a big teleport flank from Fate, who is, I believe, spotted, but is going to pop over that wall. Was looking for the pickoff onto Beryl. As Zeka, he's found his way in, and Fate, I don't think it's going to work out, but he does have a distortion, and he's LeBlanc. So he's able to go back if he would like to. Goes back to that second distortion. The first one's going to fade, so he's real dead. Zeka's able to lock that one down. And Kingen, in the meantime, is just getting work done, you know? Definitely be very cool. As Hook is going to connect, and Zeku is face checking. He is going to go golden, and Pyosik's going to turn up here as well. Immediately, he's going to start off the fight because Deft is there, but Fate finds him in the back line. He doesn't quite have as many items as he had last time around, though, and Kingen is just going to spin through the Gnar and mop him up. Fate now also has to back away. He is going to survive, as Deft has his ultimate at the ready. No one's going to step forward, though, and instead, DRX is going to have to settle with structures.
I think they'll take that, Atlas. Meanwhile, topside Kingen taking down the inhib. Mid lane getting pushed in as well. Baron buff is now gone, and
Kingen? He doesn't have his ult.
Yeah, I think he was trying to sidestep the change, but it looks really funny because he was dead otherwise. Regardless, but it's free inhibs. So...
Yeah, it's the whole base being ripped apart as Moonlight Vigil once again going to sail to Narnia. As Beryl's going to Abyssal Dive, spits out Deft, and he is going to be forgiven for his sins this time around. Teddy, not a lot of mana. He does have guns.
Keen.
Yeah. Can he find any sort of flank? He does have teleport, but not a lot of ward options to get towards because he hasn't been allowed out of his base for a considerable amount of time.
Not even a minion!
Oh dear.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Well, now Quantum Freak's having to deal with 3 lanes of super minions. Keen going for the super play, but doesn't find the ulti, and Def able to walk up to him, Calibrum and Crescendum in hand. There's the Moonlight Vigil that connects, and Zeka flashing on top of everyone. Everyone's scared inside the game and out right now as Hoyt is going to at least get a Devour, but he's still relegated to his fountain. Great cues to come through from Zeka on this Vex one more time as Hoyt throwing out dredge lines onto some minions, but this Nexus is not lasting any longer, and DRX will retain their 3rd place as they do drop 1 game in this series, but they pull it back for the reverse sweep. And that is going to be the damage graph. This time around, a lot more linear in favor of DRX. None of these, well, I mean, there was a little bit of stalling around the 7K mark.
I don't think it was nearly as much as game number 2.
Yes.
Like, they really...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the last POG interview translation of the week, joined by Deft and Kingen from DRX. Congratulations on this 4-match winning streak. If it lost today, it was gonna be really critical to our, standings competition, and I'm happy that we were able to win. I'm pretty much like relieved, to be honest. I'm pretty confident about 3-game series, So, I mean, we have the stamina to stay up, and in the end, we were able to win, so it feels great. Yeah, concentrating till the end of a long series is definitely very important. But first off, Daft, you were able to reach 1,000 POG points for the split. How do you feel? Well, I don't really care about 1,000 points. I'm more about upset that I lost on Jinx in game number 1. And Kingen, this is your first POG. We were quite surprised. Kingen, what does that mean to you, this first POG? Well, I think I got POG because I was playing Tryndamere. Because my personal performance, I think, was not good enough. But I really appreciate this POG, and yeah, that's it. Speaking of performance, DRX secured a spot in the playoffs, and KDF is one of the teams that you might be playing against in playoffs. So how was the mindset heading into the series? We always just try to focus on our own, performance, not the opponents. So we don't really, care about who we're playing against. It's more about focusing what we have to do and what we have to do next after making each steps. And Deft, I have a question about the bottom lane. You guys are playing against Teddy, who has been having a prime performance recently, and everyone was just focusing on the bottom lane matchup. Well, to be honest, KDF, their bot laner, Teddy, always does a fantastic job in the late game, and after losing game number 1, we kind of realized that they really highly prioritize Aphelios, so we decided to remove that in game 2, and it worked really well. So we have a very detailed question about how DRX played out the lane. Could you kind of break down the matchups down on the bottom lane? In game 2 and 3, early on, we really wanted to kind of stop their back early on, kind of mess up with their back timing. And Deft, a lot of DRX players say Beryl is teaching them a lot. What about you? I mean, as a bottom duo, we always just influence each other, It's like an interaction between two players. Yeah, I mean, the way Beryl and Def together control the bottom lane was so on point. And Kingen, in game 3, you were very proactive on Tryndamere, and you were able to even solo kill Key and Snar. Why were you playing so aggressively today? What was the theme of your playstyle? I watched other players playing Tryndamere recently, and after playing Scrims a lot these days, like even if the opponents are having a full HP on the top lane, you can always solo kill the opponent as long as you have the spell advantage. And we had a funny picture posted by DRX as well. You know, in the waiting room, like the younger players were like bullying you. So what happened? Or everyone was trying to sit next to you. What happened? Who's the most popular player? I think Burl and Pyosik is the most popular too. And I'm like third. What about you, Kingen? I mean, Kingen, he's just like always like works on alone. And Zeka also. Zeka and Kingen is definitely below me in terms of popularity and like who's being famous. But why is Zeph so like popular and Beryl? Because like his like tsundere style, you know, he's like really not really that kind on the outside. He's really soft on the inside. Kingen, you did say you didn't pay attention to the opponent. You rather focused on your performance, but you were actually playing against Keen, one of the top-tier top laners in the LCK. What's your mindset heading into the playoffs and also the upcoming matches? I think I have a very long way to go. Not only playoffs, I just want to keep pushing towards maybe summer split even. So I just want to like keep working hard. However, remaining matches doesn't look so easy for you guys. It's gonna be Daman, Kia, and T1. I think every player and also the coaching staff, you know, we had no rest at all. We didn't have any day off. We were just focusing until the very end of the split. So I hope we can, you know, get the reward of the hard grind. We will do our best, and I hope we can get a great result. And this will be the end of the interview from Deft Kingen, and I'm going to pass it back to Valdez and Wolf. Thank you.